5 a.m. and just concluded another webinar with the PMI KSA chapter, Saudi Arabia chapter, and it took more than expected, though I tried to make it short as much as possible, but nevertheless, I'm here.
Yeah.
And
I quite understand. Sometimes, we plan these sessions, and before you know it, one runs over, and then it's going to affect another one. So the good thing is you're here now. So thank you for making that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and most welcome. And I think it was like just different days. I didn't realize it's on the same day. I thought one is on Wednesday, other is on Thursday, but then later I found out both are on Thursdays, I mean New Zealand time or Australian.
Okay.
But yeah, mm, here I am.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're glad you're here. So the whole thing about the time zone, conversion is one thing that we are battling with. For example,
Yeah. Oh,
this particular meetup is 7 p.m. On a Wednesday in, for example, Nigeria and Ghana, right? But it's 5 a.m. on a Thursday in my time. So we battle with
true,
all conversion. And of course,
true.
it's 7 a.m. at your side, right?
Yeah,
You,
on my side in New Zealand. Yeah. So yeah. That's another, I mean, challenge we're facing being a global world.
I know. Yeah, we are just going to start. I'm going to share my screen one more time. Quickly introduce you. Can you see my screen?
Uh,
No?
Not really.
Okay, I'm going to.
Yeah, it must be coming. Uh, Maybe a bit slow, but yeah.
What's happening? I can't share my screen. Hmm.
Uh, you can ask others if they can see. I mean, it must be coming. Then I might have problem on my end.
No, I can't even see that I'm sharing now. So that's the problem here. I was sharing. Okay, let me see again.
You are
Yeah,
viewing Pete Omoto show
yeah.
screen, but it must be, yeah, slow on my end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's there. It's there. I can see it.
All
Yeah, it
right.
is showing. Yeah, I can see it. Thank you.
All right, cool. That's all right. Um, okay, cool. So if you can see my screen, let me just quickly do a quick introduction. I just quickly want to say welcome to people that are here. Last month, we skipped last month because I was in Canada for some vacation, and we tried to arrange it, but we couldn't. But we are back now, and so just to quickly remind us about why we are here. This is the Africa Discipline Agile Meetup. This is the only Discipline Agile Meetup in Africa, and then we have the objective of promoting the real value of lean and agile practices, particularly based on the freedom that disciplined agile promises. We do not restrict ourselves to disciplined agile. That means everything's agile. We share. And I've got connection to a number of industry experts and subject matter experts across the world. And then we'll bring them here so that we can have meaningful and valuable conversation. So particularly individuals and organizations in Africa with an interest in developing their agile and lean practices are welcome to attend. I quite know that we may have a low attendance today because we missed last month, but again, we are building momentum again. So let's see how we go. So, of course, this is brought to you by Lauren Consulting. We're authorized training partner with PMI. And of course, we do agile consulting and training, coaching, and so on. So without wasting time, because we're about 10 minutes into the hour, I'll just quickly introduce our guest today. Our guest is Dr. Faiz Rasool. Is based in New Zealand and he is a multi-award winning Agile and business transformation consultant. He's a speaker, he's a trainer, and of course, is a coach. He finally combines on one hand an in-depth knowledge and a grasp of project, program, and portfolio management on the other hand. He has experience and expertise in business strategy, in business analysis, and of course, change management. I've known Faiz for a couple of years, and is actually been valuable to me. Is someone I can go to for advice at any point in time, and then we rub minds once a couple of times, at least maybe a couple of times a year. So I can say it's a real mix of competencies that perfectly blend and are needed for driving corporate growth. Faiz has demonstrated a track record of driving growth, managing successful transformation projects, improving business processes, and of course, successfully completing and creating solutions for complex business problems. Of course, I think at this point, I might want to invite Dr. Faiz Rasool to take the stage and lead us into today's metrics. And we'll be talking about choosing the right metrics. If you are an Agile practitioner, you're an Agile coach, a Scrum Master, or even a member, metrics is something that we take very, very seriously. Even our leaders take very seriously. So I think at this point, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen so that Doctor can share his screen.
Thank you, Pete. And thanks for inviting me into this meetup. I'm considering myself obliged and feeling a lot of pleasure to talk with the people from Africa, interested in Agile and discipline Agile. And today I'm going to talk about choosing the right messages for Agile teams or disciplined Agile perspective. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can say it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, before talking about the metrics, I just want to listen from you guys why we use metrics. What's the purpose of using metrics and measurements? Just feel free to unmute yourself and speak up.
Okay. Feel free to unmute yourself, guys. Why do we use metrics? Maybe I can start. For governance purposes, definitely, we do use metrics so that we can know how we are tracking at some point in the project delivery.
True.
That's
And
one of the
as an
reasons.
agile team, yeah, and also as an agile team, our senior management trust on us. Okay, uh, they empower us. It means that we have accountability to be predictable. uh, they are not micromanaging us, then we should be finding the right measurements, right metrics that help us to bring that predictability, bring that transparency to the senior management so that they can verify what we are promising we are doing. That's number one. Number two, it should also be helping us in self-reflection. We should see that what we commit, if we are delivering or not. If not, where are the variances? Where are the gaps? How can we fill those gaps? Okay. Uh, and then last but not the least is we really want to be keep motivated. We really want to be uh, keep improving on our journey to become a real learning team. Uh, Thanks for the introduction, Pete. And it's good if any one of you like to introduce themselves, I'm more than happy. Just unmute yourself and speak up.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yep, go for it.
Okay. My name is Ogon Lechimik. I guess the question is still on why we use metrics, am I right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. In my perspective, I believe we use metrics to know when we've achieved our goal.
Yeah.
So that things are measurable.
True. And it's a very good idea that we say we should be setting these goals on the team levels, aligning our individual goals to the team goals that should be aligned as per our program and portfolios goals or organizational strategic objectives. Thanks. Now, firstly, let's have a look on discipline agile mindset, about the metrics, about the pragmatic measurements, and as per discipline agile principle, it is to improve performance, and our metrics must be based on the context in which we are operating and should be supporting our organizational goals, not only team goals but aggregated to organizational goals. On the other side, uh, these metrics should be helping us out in improving our outcomes, making our performance visible, and uh, help us to gauge our performance. Okay. The guideline as per DA mindset is uh, right metrics help us to become semi-autonomous, self-organizing teams. And the purpose of any metrics should be to improve our outcomes. Purpose shouldn't be command and control or penalizing anyone. Metrics shouldn't be like big brother. They should be there for improving us. And for that purpose, we must not be competing with anyone else, any other team, but uh, with ourselves, how we are improving. Remember, guys, there are a lot of different agile metrics used in the market. I will be showing few examples of them, but here I am not going to recommend any of them, okay? Because we understand that context count. We want those metrics which help us to improve. Few of the popular metrics could be useful for us, but they might not be useful for us. So that's why it's important that uh, we should have a proper matrix or measurement strategy. And for that purpose, let's have a look on DA guidance to choose the matrix. Uh, you know about this process goal. If you look closely on this process goal from DA browser or DA toolkit, it helps us to choose and organize the right metrics, but again, it really doesn't provide you any popular metrics. It doesn't talk about go and choose a burn up chart or burn down chart or start using team velocity or team velocity is bad, go for team capacity, etc. No, it talks about how to choose measurement strategy. Where should be our measurement focus? Okay, how can we aggregate our measures from the team level to the program level to the all the way to portfolio and organization level? What are different ways to communicate our performance? Do we want them to use like a pull system or a push system? What is the right way? Okay, how can we report the metrics? Automation, a lot of automation and control called visual controls, and then different type of measurements that we can focus at. Okay, so here you will not find out any particular matrix that is recommended by discipline agile because there is no easy answer. Okay, this matrix or that matrix, because there are quite a lot of options available, and we cannot bring anything off the shelf and start using it for our team because each team is different. So it means that each agile team should having a measurement strategy instead of having just a set of metrics or set of measurements, a proper strategy. Another principle from discipline agile is don't consider that, okay, we chose this very, very popular matrix like burn down chart, and we will be able to track our story points in any case. Each metric has its own strengths. Each matrix has its own weakness. You should know that which matrix is helpful for you and at what time. Sometimes few metrics are good in the start, but may not be useful in the middle or at the end. So you should know when you are moving further in your product development work or projects, which matrix is effective on a particular time. So matching your strategy to your situation, to your timeline is good. And also it is a great idea if you can look at your performance from different view angles instead of just from one view angle. Another principle is always start with the outcomes and goals. Firstly, set your objectives, goals. Then to achieve those goals, those objectives, uh, set your metrics. Okay, uh, set your KPIs, identify your metrics, get data, the right data, feed it into your metrics, and that should be feeding back to your goals and objectives. As long as the purpose is achieving the outcomes, your metrics would be fantastic. Another point is you get what you measure. If you want your team to be busy, your team will show you they are busy. Okay, they will do nothing, but they will always show you they are busy. Okay, so whatever you will measure, they will give you. If you will measure the value, they will give you the value. If you will measure what time they start, what time they end, they will show you what time they end, what time they start. Okay, uh, that's why it is important that you should be choosing those metrics who are there for the sake of improvement, okay, for the sake of value delivery, for the sake of improved behavior from your team, okay, instead of just should be starting on time, ending at time. Another way of getting the right outcomes from the measurement is automate whenever possible, because it is much tougher to ditch automation. You get real-time data. Initially there is some cost, but later it reduce your cost over the time. It improve accuracy and make life easy to gather the data. Another principle is prefer trends over scalar metrics. For example, progress reports, status reports, prefer trends over scalars. Instead of making decision on just one point, okay, uh, think about the trends, okay, because this one point will not give you any idea. For example, if your team A, okay, uh, completed 20 story points in one iteration, and team B in the same iteration, suppose say that it is iteration number 5, completed 15 story points. How can you determine which team has done better? You cannot determine on just single value. These are scalar values. Maybe your team A was achieving much more story points than this 25, 24, 20, 22. Now they are getting 20. So you can clearly see the trend is downwards. On the other side, your team B, because they were facing resource shortage, they were facing complex problem. Previously, they were only achieving 10, 11, or 12 story points, and in iteration 5, they achieved 15. We can clearly see that this trend is improving. So don't believe on the scalar values, prefer trends over scalar values. I hope I made some sense.
Yep.
Yeah, in case if you have any question, just feel free to ask. Other thing is prefer leading over trailing metrics. Leading metrics are your trends. Okay, and the metrics which provide you some insight in the future, whereas trailing metrics are which provide insight in the past. For example, status reports or progress reports, they provide you what happened in the past, maybe give you some insights for the sake of reflection, but you really cannot do anything about the past. But is important what you are going to do in the future. Okay, so try to get those metrics. Prefer pull over push. Uh, Develop systems for your organization where people really need not require emails to be sent to them. If they need anything, they should go and pull it, maybe with the help of visual boards or information radiators, okay, or maybe a wiki page. Instead of you are sending them emails, you are sending them status reports, okay. But for you, important thing is you should be, as a team, you should be providing the right information uh, for those information boards. Then there comes yay or nay time. Uh, just read this question and write in the chat or speak up. Uh, what you think, yay or nay?
Okay, guys, you can use the chat button. Okay, I can see Shagun already sent something. So just read the questions and just type in the chat box whether you think it's a yay or nay, whether it's a yes or no. What do you think? Scalar values, also called point measures, are generally more valuable than trends over time. I can see some answers coming in, Doctor.
Yeah, nay. And yeah, they are correct. So point measures are not that good as compared to trends over the time. Another yay or nay time. Yeah, question 2. Again, we are getting some nay. Yep, we really don't provide any definite uh, list of best metrics because we believe that one matrix could be best in one situation but may not be good at all in another situation. Now, a few suggestions how teams should approach metrics, few principles, measure outcomes at a team level. Okay, but again, for the sake of enterprise awareness, aggregate them uh, to the program and the portfolio level. Uh, and then if your focus will not be on the outcome, then uh, you will not be achieving what you really hope for, and that is outcome. You get what you measure. If you remember, trust but verify, another principle that is more about for self-organizing teams, we show a lot of trust, a lot of empowerment. But on the other side, your senior management, you like it or not, they will verify, they will govern you. Okay, and this is recommended. Okay, trust people, verify what is happening. The commitments they are making, if they are achieving those commitments or not. Again, the purpose is not micromanagement, not a big brother, not a stick, but purpose is to identify where are the challenges so that we can remove those bottlenecks, we can remove those constraints so that we should be free flowing. And while doing it, we need to be respectful and responsible. Another suggestion we already talked about, each team is unique. We should have a unique set of metrics that should be meeting their unique context. Again, set of metrics, not a single matrix, because we want to look on our performance from different aspects. We don't want to leave any blind spot. The purpose of metrics should be motivate us, okay, to improve us while using in our retrospectives. But again, The purpose should not be for the sake of comparison. It is highly recommended. Don't compare it even for the sake of giving you an reward or recognition. Okay, excuse me. Teams use the metrics to self-organize themselves because metrics should be providing some insights on the potential issues and the opportunities. Now, my question is, who are self-organizing teams?
All right, question to all of us. What do you think self-organizing teams are? Anyone?
Can I try?
Yeah,
Please
please
go for
feel
it,
free.
Philip.
All right. So for me, self-organizing teams are people, they know what they want and they know how to go about achieving what they want. So self-organizing teams are people, without you telling them what to do, they know how to go about doing it.
So, yeah, so the persons who do the work, for example, the engineers, the plumbers, the technicians, the software engineers who do the work, they should have this choice of planning for that work and estimating for the effort required to complete that work. So these are self-organizing people, okay? And they are the one who choose what to do, okay? It is not the manager telling them who is doing what. If those self-organizing teams choose the matrix that can provide them insights, that can provide them insights for the sake of improvement, that would be great. And also, these metrics, if used effectively, can provide visibility to the leadership. So this is the matrix principle: measure to improve instead of just measure for the sake of measurements. Okay, we should always compete against ourselves. That's the only way to go. And next step is, don't manage to the metrics. As a team leader or the senior executive, you should consider better approaches than just looking on the metrics and deciding how team is performing. And the better way is, for example, Gemba walk. Just go and talk with the team to see if there is any issue, then why is that issue. Okay. Now let's find some effective ways to measure and also see some ineffective metrics. If you really want to measure the quality. Okay. And when we talk about quality, quality is something that customer values. Okay. It totally depends on the context. What does it mean, quality? It depends on the product. It depends on the work you are doing. Okay. But when we talk about quality, basically we are talking about if it is meeting the stakeholder needs, if it is developed as per generally acceptable principles, conform to the compliance and regulatory requirements, easy to change if needed, yes, then it is quality. Another thing is focus on producing value. Okay. Uh, give credit to the work that produce value. That is a consumable solution for the customer. Okay. Now, when we talk about value, value is of two types. One that customer values, other what business values. We should be considering both. Okay. A very recent research determines that only those organizations are successful who knows how to get customers' feedback, when to get customer feedback, when to consider customer feedback, and most importantly, when to ignore feedback. It's not compulsory that you
Did we just lose Doctor? Dr. Fahaz, I think we just lost you. Okay, cool. Just let me quickly connect back to him.
Hello.
Right. Yes. Okay, cool. We lost you for a bit there, and then we lost your screen as well.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's bad. But let me bring the screen back.
Okay, cool.
So we were talking about what
Yes.
to measure. Okay, we talked about measure quality. We talked about to measure the value. Okay, from both business and customer perspective. Next is previously our focus was measuring the productivity. Productivity mean that how busy our teams are, what time they start, what time they finish. Do they take the break on time? Do they take the lunches on time? Do they look busy or not? That was our focus. But with the passage of time, uh, now our focus is more on not productivity, but focus is on reducing the delays, reducing the time so that we can realize the value more quickly. Okay. This is a new way of thinking we should be considering, and different ways of doing it: lead time, uh, cycle time, and process cycle efficiency. I'm not going in depth of these ways. Many people consider cycle time, but lead time is even better uh, measure than cycle time. Okay, cycle time is from delivery team perspective, when they start work, when they finish the work. Lead time is from customer perspective, when they look for the work until they get it delivered to them. Okay, maybe delivery teams are spending much less time, their cycle time is much lesser, but their queue is too big. Okay, so better to consider lead time over cycle time, and then try to reduce the delays to improve your process cycle efficiency. Uh, so these are effective ways of measure, but here let's have a look some ineffective ways of measures. For example, status report, very common technique used in almost all the organizations. Do you use status reports?
Yes.
Either you use it or you used it in the past. You know that status report is to gather the status, to see that how productive our team is, how busy our team is, if they are consuming the time well or not. Okay, but in fact status report is consuming their time. Okay, uh, it's a very poor use of highly skilled people and waste a lot of our time, and it means it is costly to create. Three major challenges with the status reports: green shifting, watermelon status report, and quantum shifting. When I say green shifting, basically it is saying that when status report shifts from worker to the project manager, to the middle manager, to the director, it shifts. Okay, it improves over the time. For example, workers report that they are facing several challenges. Okay, PM make it bit easy, work as a buffer and report senior management that team faces some challenges. And then middle manager think that team enjoys the challenges they face. And for directors, the report is everyone is having a great time, but there were some serious problems. Okay, so when it shifts from down to up in the hierarchy, it gradually improve, and we really cannot see the real picture. Another issue is watermelon status. Okay, we keep on showing that everything is good, 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 but internally it is just like red, like a watermelon. And when they break it, they find out that everything was in trouble. That's the disadvantage. Another issue is quantum shift. You know that uh, from green, it should go to amber or orange, then red. But problem with the status reports are they jump directly to the red instead of going green, amber, and red. Okay, and then suddenly we know that our project is failed. Okay, and we didn't do anything maybe. Yeah. At this point, I have yay or nay questions for you. Feel free to answer. Also, you can ask a question if you want. So some answers. Yeah. Okay. True. Next. J or nay? Yeah. Think. Okay. The answer is yeah. Thank you. We should measure productivity instead of time. No, we should measure time to produce value than productivity. Productivity in sense of how busy your team is. Uh, okay, next question. Measure quality based on what leadership values? No, measure quality based on what both business and customer values. Okay, that was about team level. Now let's talk about how organizations approach metrics. Okay, the principles are trust but verify. Let team to choose their metrics as per their team goals, but then aggregate them to the program and the portfolio level. Trust your people, but keep on monitoring and verifying what they committed. They are following or not. Secondly, they should not impose any common metrics to all different teams because different teams, different situation, they should be instead of focusing on consistent metrics, they should focus more on consistent metric categories. Okay. Once we have consistent metrics categories as shown here, these are categories, these are not the metrics, okay, then team should be able to choose the right metrics. Staff morale, quality, stakeholder satisfaction, time to market, financial, and transformation are some example of the categories. You can choose them as per your need, as per your organizational context, then allow the team to choose their metrics as per their team goals, and later these metrics should be aggregatable on the program level, feeding to the program goals, and then from there feeding to the portfolio goals. Okay, normally team metrics they evolve very quickly. Program level they evolve on a medium speed, but on portfolio level they evolve over the time, maybe 6 monthly or annually. That's how organizations should be choosing their matrix categories. Now let's have a look on some of the popular metrics, but before that, any question? One of the popular metrics is burn down. Do you use burn down charts?
Yes, most of the organizations that I've worked for,
Yeah.
in the past, even the current one I support, they use definitely burn down charts and all the,
True.
yeah.
True. Burn down charts are like used for many purposes to see how many story points are completed, how many errors or bugs are fixed, how many sprints are completed for different purposes. They have their advantages, their disadvantages. Okay. Burn down charts, normally on the horizontal axis, we have the timeline, and on the x-axis, we have the work that needs to be completed, for example, story points. And then we have this line that is our, you can think of baseline, or there, that is what we really want to achieve. But on the other side, this yellow line is showing actual completion. Okay. Burn down chart is simple, is effective in many ways, but obviously it has some weaknesses as well, as you can expect. On the other side, burn up chart, it is like other way around. Here you talk about instead of burning down the story points, you keep on showing that how many story points you achieve. Burn up charts, similar to burn down charts, have a lot of advantages. One of the advantages, for example, burn down chart really doesn't show that here, for example, here. Okay. It really doesn't show that why you slow down. Okay. What's the reason behind it? Is it more story points that are added, or your team members were not able to perform, or few team members were sick, they were not on at work? We really don't know what's the reason. But here in burn up charts, we can clearly see that, okay, how many story points we are completing and how many more story points are being added. Sprint velocity, this is very, very common, though many people really don't like sprint velocity as a measure because it really doesn't provide you the right insights. But this is something that we use to determine how many story points we are completing in each sprint. Okay, that is for team performance measurement. We should not be comparing it with any other team's velocity. Okay, so these were different popular metrics that are used. Along with this, we have many other metrics to measure our flow, to measure our performance, etc. But important thing is choose the metrics which are fit for purpose for your team as per your situation, and choose for those metrics that help you to determine that if you are achieving your outcomes or not. Okay, and that was the presentation on choosing the right metrics, and thanks for participating. I'm more than happy to answer any questions if you have.
All right, that's very, very good. Thank you so much, Doctor. Let me just quickly ask us, is there any question that is coming that you think you might want to ask? Question time, it's question time. Any question, you can either unmute yourself, that would be preferred, so that we can do a little bit of, a little bit of conversation. Otherwise, you can also use the chat box. Yalguna is saying
Yes.
thumbs up, which is saying, yeah, it's quite cool, good with it, good. Any question on metrics? I know this is a very, very good subject because it is one thing that most organizations really find difficult to wrap their hands around. Yes, I can see Oyinlola's hands up. Oyinlola, please unmute yourself and go for it.
Thank you. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are. I was a bit intrigued by these project status reports that you said was a waste of time. Now, from my understanding, and I just want you to please guide me in the conclusion that I've reached, is the fact that it's better to provide management with the metrics that you feel properly identify the progress that is made on the project, as opposed to the red, green, amber thing. Is that what you're trying to say?
The thing is, status reports are like trailing metrics. They tell you the story of the past. They doesn't tell you where team is heading. That's number one. Okay. Second is they help you to measure the busyness of team. Team will tell you that what they did, okay, but they will not really give you the actual picture. Our measurements, if they could be automated, they could be based on real-time data. If our measurements are based uh, on the outcomes that we want to achieve, the value we want to produce, and if they are available to everyone, and he who want to get it can get it, okay, and then it will really help us to improve. The thing is, our team can play with status reports very easily. I mean, we even if I think about myself, about my past, it was very easy to prepare a status report. Never was a challenge for me to prepare a status report to show that what work I did. Okay, but what value it was producing? Nothing except showing that I'm working. Okay, if I
Again. I used to work before.
Please continue, sir.
Yeah, so these are the issues with the status report. The other thing is, many times it happened that when we send report to our senior management, we always show the report of all okay. Very common. Even if you think about our politicians or our presidents and prime ministers, their consultants always show them that you are running the country the best. That's what how we aggregate our things.
If I can add to that, Doctor and Onilola. So I'm not sure if you have heard about the watermelon effect. So the watermelon effect is always green on the outside, right, but red on the inside, which means, like Doctor said, most of the time when we send those status report is about what we have done and what we have achieved. The people that even choose to really talk about things that didn't work, they push it down on the status report. That's if they mention it at all. At the end of the probably delivery or a project, that's when they will see that, oh, there are massive problems in this, and that's what we call the watermelon effect. So everything is green until you open it up. So now we're not saying status report is bad. It's just that at the end of the day, there is more tendency, there is a high tendency to have that watermelon effect until people drill down into it. And don't forget, Doctor told us about the value to the business and value to the customer. There are other leading metrics, leading indicators that can actually bring all these up, other than the trailing metrics. Status report is a trailing metric, is a trailing indicator. Something has happened. It's not real time. We are reporting at the end of the week, for example. This is what I did in the last 5 days, instead of something that's showing how we are going per time, almost real time. So I just thought I should add to that from my home perspective, but that was a very good question. Now, a lot of people, even including the organization that I support at this moment, they still use status report. So it's still there, but we can get better and more valuable metrics from some of the metrics that Dr. shared with us tonight and some other ones as well. Okay, cool. Any other question? If there's any question that we want to really quickly trash before we call it a day. All right, Shegun, I just saw you unmuted yourself. Is there a question from your side or a comment? All right. So if there's no other question, I was just going to probably close now. It's been a pleasure spending the last 53 minutes with you, Doctor. Thank you so much for bringing so much value again and again. It's a very good reminder for me with metrics. As a matter of fact, I'm in the middle of really trying to really look at the metrics we use and of course revamp them at work. So exactly what you said, measure what works. So I'm in the middle of really checking whether what we are using is working for us based on the different teams, the context that we find ourselves. So this has been very, very helpful. And I can say that Onyelola just said it's very insightful, it's clear, it's concise. And thank you so much, Doctor. We really do appreciate you. And
most welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And then to the community, we are back on track. So the promise is once a month, we'll be bringing thought leaders and subject matter experts around the world of Agile, particularly discipline Agile to us. And this has been a very good time spent together. So until we meet again next month, you will receive information around that. Not only that, at some point, I'm also going to send across the PDF of this presentation to you so that you can also go back to and probably use one or two things at work. So let's keep being agile, and then we will definitely see and meet again in the next 1 month. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy your evening, everyone. Thank you so much.
See you. Thank you.